Now we are going to look at how can we use the sum and Sumif functions. It's a little difference. Sum function, it can be used for to calculate the total value or total amount. We can use the sum function, but Sumif function, if we want to get the total value or total amount based on the condition, we can use that Sumif function. If you like the video, so please put the like button, and if you're not subscribed, please subscribe and click the bell icon next to you. You will get the update videos. For an example, you can see this example. This is the inventory in report table. So if you look at that, here is the date and then code and then stock name, I mean the item name, then module, color, go down, and unit price, quantity and value. So if you want to get the total value, the total quantity, we can use the sum functions as well. If you want to get the total value, we can use that sum functions also, right? Okay, now we are going to look at that. What's the Sumif functions? Sumif functions mean if we end the code, we can get the total value of the particular code, right? For an example, here is the code we provided. Every items we have a special code, the unique code, right? So based on the unique code, we are going to get the total volume, right? The total value, right? So how can we get it? We can use the Sumif functions. If I write here the code number, we can get that the total quantity or total value we can get from the particular code, right? So the example I am going to use it. So the first, as I told you, that I want to get the total quantity by using some function. So I'm going to put that first equal sign. If you want to type any kind of functions in Excel, you need to put that equal sign, then only the Excel will be accepted. This is the functions, right? So we want to calculate the total quantity, so due to that we are going to use the sum functions. So I'm going to type the sum function, so SUM, and start the bracket and select the range. The range is here, right? Then close the bracket and enter. So the total quantity is 223. As well, here we can get the total value of these all product, right? These all items, right? So how can we get it? We can get it by using sum functions. So I'm going to put that equal sign, then I'm going to call the sum function is SUM, start the bracket and select the range, then close the bracket, then enter. So the total amount is 845,100, the values, total stock value, right? We can profit. How can we profit? Just I'm going to select the range. You can see here the sum 223, here also 223. It means that our calculation is correct. As well, here also you can see here I selected the range and then some amount, it's automatically appear here, 845,100. Here also 845,100, right? We know well that how to use the sum function. Sumif functions mean based on the criteria we are going to calculate the total value or total amount, right? So for an example, here is, you can see that A50BK, the model is the code. This is the code, and this code is a unique code. It's not matching with any other one, right? So this code we both, this is the stock, right? Inventory in a table. So we buy A50BK January 1st. Again, as well, you can see here A50BK March 1st. So if you want to get that A50BK, the total value, we can use that sum if functions, right? So how can we get it? We can get it. So first I'm going to be put that the code. So what code I want here? A50BK, right? So I'm going to put that A50BK. I type it A50BK, right? So I want to know the A50BK, the total value. Here is, you can see this value, and this value should be appear here. The total value should be appear here. So how can I use these Sumif functions to get that total value of the A50BK? It's a very simple. I'm going to put that equal sign in the first, then I'm going to call that Sumif functions and start the bracket. Then the first one is range. Range mean the code range we have to be select. In this table we can see that the code range available, so I'm going to choose that all the code range, right? Then comma, the criteria, I'm going to be search A50BK code, so that is the criteria. I'm going to choose that, comma, and some range, which value you need to be get it. So I need to get it this total value of this range, right? So I'm going to be select the value range, then close the bracket, then enter. So you can see here 187,200 is the A50BK, the total value. You can see here A50BK. I'm going to be proof it, right? I'm going to first I'm going to be select the header, and I'm going to be put that filter, right? So I'm going to choose here A50BK, that is the code, right? A50BK here. Okay, so you can see here the total value calculations. You can see here 187,200. so that was gone, and I'm going to be 187,200. I'm going to be right here. Okay, it is easy for you. 187,200, right? Okay, 187,200, right? So I'm going to be clear the filter. I'm going to be clear the filter. Okay, now you can see here is the amount we get it, the total value of the particular code A50BK, the total value 187,200. so it's a correct, right? As well, we can get that whatever we want from this table, right? For an example, I'm going to be get that A50BK. A50BK is Samsung A50, the model A50, black color, the story A, and then total value available how much. So first I need to be for that the code, just I need to be enter the code, as I told you, A50BE. so A50BE, just enter. You can see the total amount. So if you want to be proof, I am going to be proof it. A50BE, we both two times, the first one here, other one is here. So the total amount how much? 219,000, right? As well, we can get it. So this is the difference between sum and Sumif functions. If you want to learn more Excel formulas and function, you can enroll with our courses. We have published 6 courses at the moment. The first one is the most essential and popular Excel formulas and function. The second one we published the advanced Microsoft Excel formulas and functions 2020, and the third we have published the complete Microsoft Excel pivot tables and pivot chart. Then we have published Tally courses. The Tally courses at Tally ERP 9 with a just a step-by-step guide from basic to advanced course. And the next one is we have published complete payroll management in Microsoft Excel and Tally ERP 9. The final course we have launched in near the name was complete inventory management in Microsoft Excel and Tally ERP 9. Don't wait, let's check it out. The links we provide you below the description. You can click and enroll right now. We will meet in a Udemy website right now.